Hey, what's up you guys, it's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to go into chapter 27 of The Murder House by James Patterson and David Ellis. So let's get right into this video. This video may contain sensitive topics and foul language. If you do not wish to continue, I suggest you click off the video now. You have been warned. Chapter 27. Joshua Brody lets out a sigh. Almost 3 hours have passed, Noah testifying in response to Brody's questions, and now it's coming to an end. A pregnant pause by the lawyer to emphasize these final questions already asked and answered, but important enough to be repeated. Let me ask you one last time, Noah, says Joshua Brody. Did you kill Melanie Phillips? Noah leans forward in the microphone on the witness stand. No, I did not. Did you kill Zach Stern? No, I did not. Joshua Brody casts a glance at the jury. No further questions. Noah takes some deep breaths, halfway done the easy half, and it wasn't that easy. It has to feel natural, not rehearsed, his lawyer kept telling him as they prepared for today, and Noah feels like it. All in all, it was convincing. From time to time during Joshua Brody's questioning, he glanced over at the jury. Did he see reasonable doubt on their faces? He doesn't know. This isn't what he does for a living. He's in the moment, tense and focused. He wouldn't trust his instincts anyway, but he can't suppress the surge of hope he feels. He has a chance. Cross-examination, Judge Barna asks. The prosecutor, Sebastian Akers, drops a notepad on the lectern between the prosecution and defense tables. This is the kind of moment a guy like Akers lives for. The packed courtroom, the big trial, the cross-examination that will make or break this case. Keep your composure, his defense attorney told Noah. Akers wants to paint you as someone who committed murder in a blind rage. He wants you to show the jury that rage. He's going to try to bring it out, get you upset. Mr. Walker, Akers begins. You have no alibi for the night of the murder, correct? Noah clears his throat. As I told Mr. Brody, I stayed in that night. Akers makes a face. What I meant was nobody can corroborate your alibi, correct? Correct. The jury has to take your word and only your word for it. Yeah, I guess so. And you admit you were once given a key to the front door of the 7 Ocean Drive, correct? Yes, I've done work on the mansion for years. At some point it made sense for the contractor who used me to just give me my own key, and that key has now magically disappeared. I don't know about magically, but I don't know where it is. There was no evidence of forced entry at the mansion on the night of the murders. The fact that Noah had his own key isn't a good fact for him. You deny that you confessed to the crime to Chief James. You deny that, right? Yes. So when he said you did, he wasn't telling the truth. He wasn't. And when Detective Murphy testified to what the chief told her about your confession, she wasn't telling the truth either. I don't know if she was or not. Maybe the chief said that to her, maybe he didn't. If he did, then he was lying to her too. Right. Or maybe Detective Murphy just made the whole thing up. Right, Mr. Walker? Noah feels perspiration on his forehead and his neck. Could be. So maybe she was also lying, right, Mr. Walker? Maybe. Sure, Akers says, with no shortage of sarcasm, flipping a hand, and Dio Cornwall, who shared a cell with you in lockup, who testified that you confessed to killing Melanie, that you said you cut her up good, and she couldn't be no movie star now. Mr. Cornwall was also lying, right, Mr. Walker? He was lying. I never said anything like that to him. I never talked to him about my case at all. I see. Akers looks at the jury. Any idea how Mr. Cornwall would have known the name Melanie, or she wanted to be a movie star, if you didn't tell him anything about your case at all? I don't know. Maybe he read it in the newspaper. The newspaper? Mr. Walker, dear Cornwall was in lockup with you. Do you recall ever being given a copy of any newspapers while you were in lockup? Noah pauses. He casts his eyes downward. If you like, we can bring in the sheriff's deputies who controlled lockup while you were. No, we were never given newspapers, Noah concedes. I don't know how Dio got the information. Maybe Chief James told him. Chief James? So now you're saying not only that Chief James lied about your confession, but he helped Dio Cornwall make up a story too? I don't know. And Chief James isn't here to testify, is he, Mr. Walker? So we'll never be able to ask him, will we? Noah fixes a glare on the prosecutor. He feels his blood go cold. During your direct testimony, you admitted that you confronted Melanie at her job at Tasty's Diner, asking her to take you back. You admit that, correct? Noah shakes his head and focuses on this change of subject. Yes, I admit that we argued, and I grabbed her arm, but Remy has the date wrong. He said it happened 2 days before Melanie was killed, June 2nd, but that's wrong. Melanie broke up with me in April, about 7 weeks before she died. That's when I talked to her at Tasty's. He met Paige a week after Melanie dumped him in April. He'd moved on from Melanie, but he's never told anyone that. He's never publicly acknowledged his affair with Paige. He won't now, no matter how many times Paige has told him to do so. He won't bring Paige into this. Akers nods along, his eyes alight. Pretty big difference between April 7 weeks before the murder and 2 days before the murder. Yes, it is. So Remy's lying too. I don't know if he's lying, but he's not telling the truth. That's right, he's not. So to summarize, Akers says, strolling along the edge of the jury box, Chief James, Detective Jenna Murphy, Dio Cornwall, and Remy Handelman, none of them are telling the truth, but you, Mr. Walker, on trial for your life, who Melanie broke up with so she could start dating Zach Stern, you are telling the truth. Noah feels his pulse ratchet up. The way Akers is stacking up all the evidence, nobody's going to believe Noah. It hits him hard for the first time. They won't believe me. They're going to convict me. I'm telling the truth, he pleads. I swear I am. I would never hurt somebody else. You never hurt anybody? Akers asks, with a mock innocence. Well, Mr. Walker, isn't it true that in 1995 you brought a rifle to Bridgehampton School and opened fire on a number of your classmates? That is the end of this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.